This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena. And folks, we are celebrating the 45th anniversary of Suspiria. Yes, I love that film, and wearing a wonderful shirt to boot, honor my guest, who is right up here in the corner just before the razor wire hits. Folks, I had her on 5 years ago. I have the lovely razor wire victim herself, Stefania Casini, all the way from Italy. How you doing, Stefania?
Very well, thanks.
What do
I'm
you
very
think?
happy to be with you.
What do you think of that shirt?
Well, big belly.
I got a big belly, show off all the images.
Exactly. That's great.
That's a beautiful shirt. Oh, we stumbled getting on here. I don't know what happened there, but thankfully all is fixed. Yeah, I'm so happy to have you back on. You know, you were a lovely guest before, and even got this.
Wow.
One of the members of Goblin signed it right there, who was at Horrorama. Greeny. Oh, I can't remember his name. I'm gonna botch his name, but signed my Suspiria Blu-ray.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I've had about 4 of you from the film on the show here. Jessica Harper's been on, so was Barbara McNulty, and exactly 2 years ago today, I had Daria Nicolodi on here, and she passed away later that year.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately. She was great.
My Daria story is that I reached out to her in 2016 to have her on here, and she turned me down, and she said she got exhausted talking about all the 7 Dario Argento movies that she was involved with. And so I let it go. She was polite, but I let it go. But what had happened was 2020, I knew was going to be the anniversary, the 45th anniversary of Deep Red. And I always liked her best in that film out of the bunch. And I approached her again, but this time I knew she was in the last film by Mario Bava. And she was also in a film by Lamberto Bava, whom I had the pleasure of meeting at Horrorama 2019. So I lobbied to get her back on, see if I could get her on. And this is a quote by her. She said, "This interview will likely not happen," but she indulged me. And I pitched to her what I wanted to do. And she said she'd do the interview in 2 conditions. She said, 1, she wanted to express her love for Mario Bava. And number 2, she really wanted to express her love for her daughter, Asia Argento.
Yeah.
And I said, absolutely.
Oh, that's great. But while we are talking about Daria Nicolodi so much.
Yeah, well, I had her on, and I felt so bad when she passed. And did you have any interactions with her involvement with Suspiria?
No, not at all. I knew Daria. I met her, but I mean, we didn't have any. I mean, we are kind of friends, but not so deep friends, you know. So. And she was very kind because she said, okay, you can do it very well, don't worry, etc.
Yeah.
So she was very nice, you know, but we weren't really friends. We didn't know each other so well.
Yeah, I was happy to get her on when I did, you know, but she went way too soon. But I love this movie, and I gotta say, Argento is just got a gift for color in his movies. I love his color palette, you know, in his movies. Was that post filming or was that on set, all the colors? Because you had a lot
it
of
was on set. There was a special study they have done, him and the DOP, to get the same color that in the 50, the film color were like, you know. So they were this reddish, green, blue. And they made a certain special velvet stuff to make this kind of color, but it was on the set all the time.
Oh, it was beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and of course, you know, you had the famous scene in the razor wire. Walk me through how they did that, because back then they didn't have CGI. But
no, they did it. There was a great visual effect. At that time, they used to do all the visual effect in live. So Dario decided that he wants a fish, the meat of the fish, because the meat of the fish would have the same color and consistencies. So in fact, they use a knife with the fish to get the open, the blood coming through.
Did they didn't use real razor wire in that scene, did they not?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
So how did you manage yourself going through that?
I did. You know, Dario said, don't worry, it's not going to really hurt you. So I jumped in. It was an enormous amount. And Dario kept speak and say, go on, move. And I was moving. And while I was moving, all of this iron stuff got around me, and, you know, and getting worse and worse. So finally, my interpretation is quite real, because I was really upset and almost panic on this room full of this barbed wire. And we did only one take, because of course it was impossible to do twice. So one was okay, and that's all.
Did you have any real cuts on you?
Yeah, no more cuts, but you know, a pinch, because it's pinching all around you. Yeah, I was kind of hurt a little bit, but you know, well, when you're doing a movie, you do it. That's all.
What was the atmosphere like the first day you arrived on set?
It was great. It was great. Dario introduced each other, and we take a lot of pictures, because there was all the picture must be taken. You know, the one where we are all together around the old lady, and Alida Valle standing up, and we are all around like a really, actually like a really dance school photo, you know. And Alida was very sweet, and she, you know, for us the real star was Alida Valle, because Alida was really a myth in Italy. But she was very nice, very sweet, very, you know, immediately friend. So it was comfortable to be with her, and we were so young, all of us, so we become all friends, you know, the girls, and Miguel Bosé. Miguel was sweet guy, very sweet, and you know, and so beautiful. I remember it was really like an angel. And so it was great. And also I had to rehearse a lot to be able to act as a ballet dancer. And Jessica, she was immediately very friendly, so I didn't have any problem with her. You
I
know,
love
she
Jessica.
Jessica. And then we correspond a little bit for years again. I saw her in LA a couple of years after the movie, and I mean, she was very friendly, very nice. We had a lunch together, and then it's like it is in the movies, you know. You are very friend during the shooting. You get friend for a little bit, and then life separate. So you go from one side, you go from another. She's in America. That's all. It's like this.
Yeah, I had Jessica on later on the same year I had you on. I discovered she had a disease called PXE. Her and her brother both have it. I'm not entirely sure on the details on it off the top of my head. I made a donation to it, and while I was corresponding with her, and got an email from her, and we ended up setting up an interview, and she was absolutely lovely. I actually got a couple autographs from her in the mail sometime shortly after. Loved her in The Phantom of the Paradise, loved her in Suspiria. Between you all, did you have to practice your ballet to get good at that, or were you guys already had some skill in that area?
I don't know if Jessica had some skill. I haven't, so I practiced 1 month before every day with a great maestro of the Roma opera or ballet. So I learned and I trained myself to have the right posture, you know, just to look like a ballerina. Okay.
And Barbara Magnofi, of course, I had on last year. I'm actually involved in a film that she's got her name on called The Witches of the Sand, and I connected with her through that. What was your interaction like with her? I know you guys were sticking your tongue outs at each other. That was pretty funny seeing Jessica right there in the middle.
But she's a good friend of mine. Actually, we got along together very well, and sometimes I met her again in some reunion, Suspiria reunion in the United States.
Yeah, I love Barbara.
Yeah. She's very nice. She's very sweet woman, and beautiful also. Really.
Absolutely. Yeah. 45 years, Suspiria. I would have been 5 years old in 1977 when this film came out. So obviously I didn't see that in the theater, but I would love to catch a screening of it at some point. What do you think? This film, 45 years old and still going strong.
Well, frankly, I saw the movie recently because there was a kind of special event, you know, and so because they restored it. So I went to see it again, and frankly, it's an incredible movie because it didn't get old at all. I mean, you know that you're watching something that is not real, but the atmosphere, the music, the color, the actors really get into the deep, profound fear that you can have. I'm mentioning, for instance, while the worms, fall down and you can have in your head. How many times when you were a child you dreamed about something monster like this? So Dario really knows how to get inside your psychology. I don't know what it is, and he play with your fear, and it's still really scary because it's a thing. it's like, I don't know, it moves something inside of you. So you know that it's not real, but you are there and you participate and you get the anxious exactly how Dario wants you to be anxious at a certain point, you know. In fact, when I saw the other Suspiria, the one of Guadagnino, I didn't like it at all. Because there is not this such of tension. He chose to use the key of reality. So he set up everything like if it was something real. But then when you go to in the witches stuff, everything looks so fake. So I don't know, like really cartoon, something that is not real. While in Suspiria, you have this tension and you believe that those witches can do something horrible like this. So, yeah, it's a great movie. It's something like an opera, I don't know, a horror opera.
Oh, I love that. Of course, Goblin certainly added a lot to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love their music and this whispery sound that they had in this. Very creepy, very chilling. Yeah. I was going to ask you about the remake. You didn't care for it, huh?
No.
No.
I knew it would fail.
Yeah,
it's impossible to do a remake of something like this. It's really impossible.
You know, Dario Argento is a filmmaker where you can't really duplicate what he did. You know, I don't know how many times they've tried to duplicate Alfred Hitchcock and they failed, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it, you know? I admire the Suspiria remake for trying something different narratively, but I don't think it really had quite the impact that this film had, you know? So, and of course, you know, the Goblin soundtrack was a big part of making this eerie. I was going to ask that there's some point in the movie where you see Jessica Harper encountering the witch, and she's holding that little thing in her hand, and she sees the image of you coming up, the corpse of your character coming up. Was that you done up in makeup?
Yeah.
That was you. Okay.
That was me. And they put some special eyes, you know, because I have pins in my eyes. So I had hours of makeup for that scene. And they put me fake eyes and pins inside. And I couldn't see anything. But Dario wanted me to hold a real knife, not a fake one. So I said, Dario, but I don't see anything. I don't know who I'm going to touch. This is a big, strong knife. He said, no, don't worry. It's good. We do it like this. So I did it. But fortunately, I didn't fall down or you know, stab somebody or whatever. Everything was okay. He knows what he's doing.
How long were you in the makeup chair for that?
Hours.
Yeah, they did you up well, you know, and of course, who can forget as you mentioned, touched on briefly, the larvae scene. There's just something extremely realistically gross about that. You know, I don't know why they were storing meat up in the attic, mind you, but when that stuff, Jessica Harper said that scene was unnerving as well, you know, and the larvae in the comb and whatnot. How uncomfortable was that scene to film?
Well, not really uncomfortable, because when you are there and you're playing, you enjoy playing. I think every actress enjoy playing. Doesn't matter what scene you have to do. You're playing, so you like what you're doing, and you try to do your best. So there is not No, it's a pleasure. Acting is a pleasure.
What was your memories working with Joan Bennett? She had a strong presence in the film.
Well, she was really like an American star. In the sense that she was very like an old star, so not too friendly, nice with all of us, but always a little bit détaché, detached. She was Joan Bennett, and we were some young Italian actress. And for us, as I told you, Alida Valli was the real star because she was so beautiful when she was young. And she was in such a great movie with Visconti, with best Italian movie. And for us, she was really the one, inaccessible. But on contrary, she was very nice and accessible.
Yeah, she was great in the movie. Another person that stood out too was Flavio Bucci. Okay, yeah, that's Daniel.
Flavio Bucci is a great actor in theater. I knew it from a long time, and he was really good in that character.
Oh,
I think all the character was perfect. All the actors were perfect. The cast was fantastic. Even the old lady in the kitchen, everyone, the little guy, the nephew, he was really scary.
I tried to get him on here too, because he was also in Deep Red, but I got a translated message back from him. I guess he could not speak English. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
because I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he wanted to do the interview, and I got that kind of message from somebody that was in Tenebrae as well. And unfortunately, I only know how to speak English, so which is a defect on my end, but no, Flavio was so great playing the pianist, and he had that grisly send off there with the dog when
the dog was really good, actually.
Oh yeah, that dog.
Because the dog was fantastic when it became so aggressive and started to eat him.
Yeah, of course, it jumped right up at him, and he stood right up to Haley Bennett, and got kicked out of there. But I enjoyed his work in the film. I also want to bring up Blood of Dracula because, of course, it's not celebrating an anniversary, but it does bring you into that horror film realm. Of course, Andy Warhol's Dracula is. Did that have any inkling of helping you get the part for Suspiria, or is it Suspiria just something that you answered the call for?
No. Well, no, because first of all, Dracula wasn't released in Italy when I did Suspiria.
Oh, okay.
And Dario knew me because at that time I was quite a famous actress in Italy. So when he had to choose the actress that would replace Daria Nicolodi, he saw few actresses. And he decided for me because he liked my probably my face. I was very slim, very having already an attitude as a dancer. So if it fits in his imaginary, and so he chose me. I don't remember. No, I haven't done any test. I just went to see him, And he said, okay, perfect, okay, you know. It wasn't just a big call, must replace
You know what?
Claudia.
He chose well. He chose well. You were great in the movie. You that the razor wire scene in particular is one of the most talked about scenes in the movie, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. In
My
fact,
neck. I offered my neck.
yeah. Well, like I said, they got you pictured right there. There you are.
Yeah.
This was a great shirt. I got this at a convention, you know, beautiful blue purple colors on it. Do you get to do the conventions very often?
No, I have done 2 or 3. I don't remember. I've done one with Dario. I don't remember where we were in Texas, in Houston.
Texas Frightmare. Texas Frightmare.
Yeah. And it was very nice because me and Dario, we flew together. And we had a long stop someplace, maybe in Atlanta. I don't remember. And so it was great because we spent some time together and it was very funny. And, you know, it was great to see after all those years and talk about Suspiria again. And it was very happy on the convention. I really appreciate it. I love the idea that so many people, young people, love the film. I remember I was one in Philippines, in Manila, for it wasn't a convention. It was again one of these. I don't remember what, a kind of you know, most important Italian film, etc. So I was in Manila, and I was very surprised because once again, the theater was packed with young people. And they love it so much. They love it so much. It was an incredible applause at the end and standing ovation. So I'm always happy because I see that this film go through generations, which is good.
Just looking at Horrorama here, Maurizio Guarini. I hope I didn't botch that name. That was the guy from Goblin that I met who signed my Blu-ray, you know.
Great.
He was such a nice guy, you know, and I got to get him on here because I love Goblin, but I started doing the conventions in 2017, and I'm going to tell you especially horror film conventions, very communal. The fans are just awesome, you know. And here's a question I ask everybody: what's the most unique thing you've ever been asked to sign?
Oh, well, I remember there was a guy who came with an incredible poster, a Japanese one. So beautiful. I want to keep the poster for myself. But he said, no, this is very rare. So it was really, really beautiful, very well done in terms of graphic. And I saw only in that convention this big poster. And the other was, you know, some of them, they come to me and they ask me to sign also Dracula. Yeah, many of my fans really enjoy as well in Dracula.
Yeah.
So they ask me to sign different picture, you know. Yeah, it's funny. I like it. I like the convention.
It is fun, you know. It is fun. But yeah, and it's not always easy to get. I know they've said Dario Argento, when you get him, it's great. They say a lot of times it's hard to get him to conventions, you know. But
yeah, because he doesn't like to travel so much.
Yeah.
So you know, it's a long trip by airplane anyway. And he doesn't like to travel so much, and he's quite old now. I mean, it's now yes, his film is going to be shown in Berlin. For the but Berlin is near, you know. It's not like a long trip.
Yeah, you're 5 hours ahead of me. I wasn't sure about that, but you're 5 hours ahead of me. It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I'm in Atlantic Canada. I'm an hour ahead of New York time. So,
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know if you've ever been this way. We got lots of snow out there right now for our
I
winter.
imagine. Yes, I was shooting a movie not in Toronto, in what is the other city of Canada?
Ottawa,
Uh,
Ontario, Ottawa.
no, the French one.
Oh, Montreal.
Montreal.
Yeah.
I was made at that time. I was playing in TV, a French TV series, and I was playing a terrorist. So I was in the snow with a gun. I have a lot of fun actually. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I hope that maybe one of the conventions here in Canada can get you and Dario up here, and to do a signing. It'd be great, to meet you and have you sign this.
Yeah, yeah, it would be nice, but in not in winter, in spring,
Not
please.
not in winter. You know what? I agree. I agree. Not fun here in winter time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too much snow.
Yeah, too much snow. What's it like there in Italy right now? I've never been there.
Italy is quite, I mean, it's still winter, but it's quite spring actually for the moment. I don't know, it's changing, but it's okay. I think it's 14 degrees. That means centigrade. I don't know how to translate on your measure time. So that means it's great.
How are you guys coping with the current pandemic?
Oh, it's okay. It's almost finished. So
I hope so.
I got the COVID, but it was very light. So it was
I'm glad you survived. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was kind of a simple, light stuff. I was vaccinated, so I guess that helped, of course. Not to get into the stronger COVID Delta.
Well, last year I finally got to travel, again, which I was happy to do. And I was vaccinated and I was fine, but I missed the travel and I got to do a convention, which was wonderful. I missed it so much, But I was going to ask, do you have any charities that you want to plug and promote on here that you're involved with?
Not really. No, not really. I don't have one particular. Yes, I don't know how it's called in English. Médecins Sans Frontières. Doctor Without Border.
Okay.
Yeah, because I always give them some money, and they are great because they are doctors, and they go in incredible places where there are war, where there are problems, and they build hospital, and they really, help the people, help the situation, and it's a kind of very big organization. And they also have a boat on the Mediterranean to rescue migrants. So they're doing a lot of work. They are in Afghanistan right now. They are in Africa. They are in the Mediterranean rescue migrants. And, they are doctors that sometimes they give some of their times. For instance, I know one guy who is a splendid doctor and he could make me much money. But for 2 months of each year, he goes with Doctor Without Borders, and he operates, he's a chirurgeon. And he renounces about money, about everything. He's always in places that are very dangerous because right now he's in Afghanistan.
Here's a very layered question for you. and this might not even necessarily be Suspiria, but out of all the work you have done, what is your greatest satisfactory role? What you consider your best work on film?
Actually, I think my best work I've done was in theater, not in film.
Okay.
I was very young at that time. Probably if I have to do it now, I will do it better. But I think I did a great performance on 6 character in Search of an Author by Pirandello. Okay. At that time, I was at my 20, and I played a role with a very great Italian actor. And this role was a role that usually as an actress you play in your 30, because it's such a difficult role. But I did it very young, and I was very good, I have to tell you.
Yeah, do you prefer theater over film acting?
I don't know. It's 2 different things. I like film. I just did another movie a few months ago, made by a young director that asked me to play in a leading role. And I play a very old lady, a terrible, terrible character. But I really enjoy, and I enjoyed exactly like when you play theater. You know, it depends of the character. If the character you like and you can give him, enrich the character, then it's a pleasure to play. And
I would always look at theater as being more challenging because you're in front of an audience and you're not going to have a director yell cut.
Oh yes, that's true. Yes. In fact, I never want to go on stage when I'm doing theater. They have to push me out because you're so much afraid. You know, will I remember all the lines? What is about it? I mean, it's something that, but then you go, poof, it's a magic. You are nothing else than the character, and you enjoy it.
Well, you got a couple projects in pre-production or post-production here on Internet Movie Database. Do you want to discuss those, what you can?
Well, I say, one it's a VR that I made. It's titled Mare Nostrum, The Nightmare, and it's about the migrants in the Mediterranean. So when you put your set on, you become one of the migrants, and you experience all the fear, the displacement, the fact that, it's all the journey. And so you arrive on the sea, and then you're in a boat, and there is an accident and you drown it. And I did it because I wanted the people to understand what painful is for immigrants to leave his house, to get into all these troubles from, crossing the desert, being imprisoned in Libya, and then wait for a passeur, and then go to the boat. And many of them, I interviewed many of them, they didn't know what was the sea. They have never saw the sea. So can you imagine how frightening they are? And then they are alone there, and the seas can be really rough in the Mediterranean. And then there is another project. I'm trying to get the money, and it will be an installation against the violence on women.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I'm doing a what should I say? We are we are making together. I answer a call, a French call, and it happens that they choose my project. So I'm working with 4 guys, one from Sweden, one from France, 2 from Greeks, and we are preparing a new VR on migrants. And I'm producing an horror.
Okay.
And this would be very, very interesting. It's more than horror. It's like a thriller, It's called Dark Vertigo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a story about 3 young guys that try to climb a terrible mountain that has a spirit inside. So kind of paranormal thriller that I co-wrote it.
Oh, nice. You like doing horror?
I do. I like horror.
Horror is fun. Yeah.
It's fun. And when when you arrive to get the point of the magic point of getting the story going on, and and have a twist and anxiety and twist and anxiety and twist and anxiety, and then there's your relief by the end, and it's nice to write it. I like to write, actually.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You know what? It was awesome to have you come on here today and celebrate 45th anniversary. Wow. Where does the time
45.
Where does the time go? I love this movie. I've always enjoyed watching it and still have a lot of fun with it. It's stylish. It's got some great music to it and very haunting. I think this is one of the scariest movies I ever seen. It's Suspiria. Going through those dark halls. It's just too bad you couldn't get Jessica Harper awake. Yeah, once she got wise to what was going on, she got out of there, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to plug and promote on here before we close off?
No. And I just thank you for the interview, and I like to say hello to all my fans, and they're very sweet. So sometimes they write me on Facebook, and I'm happy. I'm happy to see that they like the movie, and I could give them some emotion. This is the best for an actor.
Absolutely. I enjoyed having you come on here today for a second time. And I know the first time I interviewed you, I was at the station and did it by phone. But after lockdown, I got introduced to Zoom, and I don't know what hindered us at start the day, but I've done numerous of these. I did 144 of these last year.
Oh,
and I think
wow.
you're number 28 this year. So
you work a lot.
Well, I work as a cleaner. That's what I do for money. So I usually work the back shift, and so that way I can plan the interviews during the day. And I look forward to this. There's something special about taking a movie like this and connecting with the talent involved. And you're my 4th person. Actually, you were my first person I've interviewed from this movie, but you're among 4 that I've had on from it. So yeah. So I love giallo films. I gotta say that's a great subgenre of horror. I gotta say, Did you have a favorite Dario Argento movie outside Suspiria?
Profondo Rosso.
Okay.
I don't know how do you translate in English the title, but Profondo Rosso, yeah, it's a great film.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? It was wonderful having you on here. Before I let you go, would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Yes, tell me what I have to do.
Just state your name and say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise. That's my show.
Python Paradise?
Yep.
Okay, so stay on with Greg Gilbert and watch. You watch Paradise, Python Paradise. And I'm sorry for my pronunciation, it might be the good one, but many talent are there and you can enjoy, speak with them.
Folks, we are celebrating the 45th anniversary of Suspiria, and we talked about Blood of Dracula, and we're happy to have the talents of Stefania Casini on here today, out of Italy, out of beautiful Italy, you know, out of beautiful Italy. Stefania, thank you so much for allowing me the honor today. I appreciate so much you coming on here.
Okay, thank you. Ciao, Greg, and ciao to all of you that listen to this interview.
Absolutely. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.